Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today, we're working on the boat. Always another project. So, let's check it out. Alright, well this is my 16-foot 2000 base Stealth with a 50 Mercury on the back. Got new tires for it. Got to redo the wheel bearings. Make sure they're all prim and proper. So, I can take this down the road and throw it in the water and test out everything with it. So I've got 3 wheels for it. Here's one that I had a blowout on that I already ripped the tire off, and then here's 2 brand new straight from Amazon tire specials, trailer tire specials. Yeah. Now I got the OG original that came with it. I think I only replaced 1 tire in like 7 years, so it's definitely time. Yeah, and then I got leaves in it. But I need to charge up all the battery systems. Need to check a few little nitpick details of electronics. My radio is only working out of 1 speaker. I need to check why this speaker's not working. Need to clean up a little bit in the interior. Could probably throw a coat of wax on it real quick and make it pretty. And then pull off the wheels and tires and do a repacking of the bearings. Check all the spindles and everything. And this is going to become my spare. It is it's white when these are galvanized. I'll probably clean up these galvanized wheels as much as I can, and I'm not going to polish them or anything. I'm just going to throw some wheel cleaner on them, let them sit, clean off the grease on the back side of them, and put new what was it called? Yeah, these. I can't think. Put some new ones on there with the tires so that I don't have any problems with those. I don't need to, but I'm going to. So, yeah. So, here we go. So, I'm using Super Clean wheel cleaner to get all the grime and grease on the back of this. I'm going to spray it on there. I'm going to scrape it pretty good with a brush of some sort, either wire brush or nylon brush, and then I'm going to go wash it off with a water hose. Don't let this stuff sit on it long, because it will eat through a lot of stuff, a lot of coatings. It really works really well. So yeah, go check them out in the link in the description below. Well, scrubbed pretty good. It got a lot off. This stuff's really stuck on. I'll have to take like a wire wheel to this, and I'm not doing that. Yeah, so front looks a lot better though. It's clean. Interior looks pretty good. Not a lot of stuff on it. So the back just has some grease on it, but I'm not worried about it. So let's throw these tires on. Now, I know everybody doesn't have a tire machine. You don't need one. There's ways to do it without a tire machine. But yeah, had to use the old brake fluid trick to pop the tire on the wheel. So I'm gonna pop this wheel off, and we're gonna set it to the side and look at this wheel bearing. Well, after looking at that bearing, it looks really good, sounds really good. It doesn't sound like there's any dirt or anything in it. It's probably dried out pretty good. I am an advocate for putting grease once to twice a season in the hubs and using marine grease, and this is just me cleaning that nasty stuff out that's been sitting for a couple years because I haven't taken it out. So I haven't greased it. So yeah, now we're gonna pop this new tire on, go to the other side, do the same thing. Well, even with new grease, this one's gonna have to be replaced probably this coming up year. I don't like how it sounds. So it's not difficult to replace them. All you gotta do is pop the spindle nut off, pop the spindle off, either put new bearings in or just get a whole new spindle. They're about $95 a piece-ish, depending on. So yeah. But we got both tires on, so we got brand new tires. We've re-greased and cleaned out the hubs. And now I'm gonna drop this thing down and finish filling up these tires with air, and we other than looking at the electronics and charging the batteries, we should be good to go. I'm gonna grease a couple more things because I got this greased after the last video and I couldn't grease anything else, and so I need to grease the motor actuators and steering, and that should be it. After that, I should be free and clear to get in the water, drive down the road and get in the water. So, well, I didn't show it, but I greased it. A couple points on here. One's right, where is it? Right there. And then there's two for the steering up here, which I greased and cleaned up a little bit and turned it a couple times. The battery's dead, so I had to hook up the battery charger over there, and then I'm jumping that to the other battery up there, which I'm not gonna do that long, but it's charging both. And this speaker wasn't working. It's because the wires. So I replaced the wires, and yeah, we're good to go now. Everything besides 100% lights. I've got one of my bulbs out on one of the sides. I'm not sure. I need to finish taking off the windshield. And then throw, as you see my white hand, powdery. I need to throw a good waxing on here. And yeah, it's getting there. This whole boat needs to be rewired, and it needs some fiberglass work. It's cracking and everything else, and previous fiberglass work from the previous owner. And then a nice paint job. And some more decals on the Mercury. But this is a stout boat. It's held up through 23 years of abuse and lack of maintenance. So need to get me another rod holder eventually. But we're not going fishing with rods this time. We're going with jugs. So if you want to see that, just keep staying tuned and you will see it. Yeah, this is a little maintenance beforehand. I'm going to come back to this probably tomorrow, finish up, throw a coat of wax on it real quick with a buffer, maybe even wash the interior real quick with some washing wax, and it might take care of all this powderiness, which I hope it is. And yeah, we'll go through the electronics, we'll start the engine again, and we should be ready to go get some catfish. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so I told you I was gonna wax it. I waxed it. It did come out better, but now it's starting to get that haze again. I'm gonna have to do it a couple times. Probably have to do some compound. Get that stuff really in there. Cause yeah, polish, it helps, but it doesn't do it justice like, I guess, a rubbing compound. The rubbing compound should take it off, but compared to like this side, looks a heck of a lot better. So you can actually see the green and sparkles on the other side. It's not taking me long. Just using a little Harbor Freight buffer, some wax. So, yeah. Gonna hit up the other side, and it'll be better than it was. It's not perfect. The bottom side I'm gonna have to clean. I haven't cleaned it in a while, so I have to clean it before we take it out. Top side's gonna get a nice little scrub-a-dub with some just wash and wax. Get all this nasty algae and stuff up. It's not gonna be perfect, but it is a fishing boat, pure out fishing boat. Like I said, neglected. So yeah, we're getting there. And then I'm planning, thought of something. My spare little fab project. I'm gonna cut me out a circle out of 1/4 inch, and then take some pipe and hang my tire right about here where it's clear from here. But if this does come up a certain way, it might hit it. That's okay because it's a tire and it's not sitting on it. But it's gonna be like right about here, away from all that. So that's a little fab project we get to do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it today or another day, but we get to do it. Get set spare out of the way and on the trailer to where if I need it, I've got it, instead of in the back of my truck. So I'm gonna get to waxing this rest of it. So just my random Sundayness. That's about where I'm gonna put it. So I found some lug nuts. I probably got some more. They're the same size as the ones on the trailer, which works. About to cut the hub for it to hold on to. This is about 6.5 inches, which is a Folgers cup or Folgers container. So yeah, that's 13/16, and those other ones are too, which makes it really good because that means I only need 1 wrench to or socket to take off the ones up there and the ones back here. So having a spare will work. I have 2 lugs. I need to look in here, a pile of lug nuts, and see if I have a third. I would prefer a third, but if I can't find one, oh well. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to doing this. I've got my plate. It is 1/4 inch, and then I've got my 1/4 inch, 2 inch wall or 2 inch diameter pipe that is gonna be on here. And so I don't know if I'm just gonna come out and come in, or if I'm gonna come at an angle. Coming at an angle might be a little bit better because you don't have as many joints and they're not all welded together, and more room to crack, more hanging area to tweak on. So we'll find out. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Today I'm using my Arc Captain Cut 50 to cut all this out, and I'll be using my Reboot 1550 to weld it all together. I'm gonna play around. I think I'm gonna try and stick it and see how the stick works, because last time I was using the stick, I don't know if it was the metal, if it's the rods or what, it's giving me a fit. So yeah, I'm gonna try, and I'm probably gonna tack it with the MIG and then just play with it and stick weld the whole thing. So we'll find out. Cut this hub out and then probably cut a gusset out and go from there. So. Well, that wasn't the best iteration of cutting I've ever done, but it did it. It's round-ish. It's some thick plate and it's some hard plate. That plate is, I think it's called AR plate. It's really, it's almost like it's heat treated. So, but as you see, it's not perfect, but it's better than buying one. So I'll clamp that on there. I'm going to draw out the holes, and then we'll cut probably 3 holes. And if I find a third lug nut, we'll put it in there. If we don't, then I've got 2. But yeah, so I'm enjoying this. I like doing stuff like this. So let's clean this up a little bit more because it does have paint all over it. So some rust. And I'm gonna smooth that out a little bit more. But let's transfer these holes. Doing fab projects, you gotta think outside the box a little bit. So throw that up on the jack stand, and we'll circle one hole here, one hole here, and one hole here. And yeah, we'll do a pilot hole and cut those out. Really enjoying these fabrication products I'm starting to do. It's making me learn a lot more, be more patient, try things over and over and over until they actually work perfectly. I'm really enjoying using the Arc Captain Cut 50 every chance I get to cut some metal, to learn a little bit more about that. And then the Reboot welder, it works flawlessly normally. So I really encourage anyone that likes any type of fabrication to get you something of the sort to start learning with. These products are both really cheap. They're under 300 bucks a piece. So learning the welding skills and everything else, going through the arc welding and the MIG welding, just takes time, takes a lot of effort towards learning each and everything with it, using the right rods. I was using 6011 rods on this and using about 80 to 90 amps on the stick welder. On the MIG, it was a little bit different. It's a little bit easier to deal with on that, but we're getting it done and it's starting to look amazing and I'm happy about it. All right, so this isn't 100% perfect, but I'm gonna knock all this out. The alignment of the tire, it took me a little while. Could drop it down just a little bit more, but I'm not sure. I kind of like where it's at. Just think it's a little high for right here, but that'll push the boat in every time it probably hits it. I'll reinforce it pretty good from the bottom. It'll be welded all the way around and it shouldn't go anywhere because this is, like I said, everything's 1/4 inch. So and then this thing, if it hits it, it just bumps it. It doesn't really hit it. So I'm gonna take the tire off and like I said, everything looks pretty much in line. The tire's not touching down here. It's got about 1/16 of an inch. And I'll burn all this in everywhere. And yeah, now I have a spare tire on my trailer. I didn't want it flat down there. That's another thing, because I would hit it every time I came in and it would end up probably rubbing a big hole into the side. Don't want the sidewall hit. I'd rather have the tread that it hits. But yeah, I like it. All right, I'm gonna pop these lug nuts off, get this thing off, burn it in. It's on there, pretty sturdy. Ouch, that's hot. It's not moving. The welds aren't the greatest, but they're on there all the way around. I was just playing around with the stick. It's finicky on that machine. I don't get it. It's a cheap Chinese weld machine, so stick is just not its forte. Flux core works great and MIG works great, but well, my MIG, I kind of need a new sleeve because the wire gets caught up in it every now and again because I've used it so much though. But it's on there. Now it just needs to be painted, and yeah. Not sure if I want to do bed liner on it or something like that so it keeps the vibration from the wheel down, or keeps the rust out even better than just having paint, but I might just throw some black paint on it. I don't know. Yeah, I got to clean it up. I'll brush it up real quick with the wire wheel or a little hand brush down there. Spray it off with some stuff and then wipe it down and then paint it. But like I said, little afternoon project for a Sunday, and now my wheel's going to be with me all the time instead of me having to deal with it. It's on the actual boat trailer. So, and I had everything I needed for it. I had to spend a dime, so that works. I like those projects. We're going to be doing a lot more in the future. Getting my brain right and trying to get more into fabrication because I've always wanted to. And I know I can do it. It's the tedious part of over and over and over and slowly trying to get good at something. Mediocre at welding, horrible at cutting, really good at grinding. So, in the welding world, I guess you'd call me a grinder for right now. But it's on there. I'm appreciative of it. So, I've needed one for a while. I'll probably end up buying a new tire as well, just like I did the other tires, just because of that one's pretty old too. It's about 4 years old, 5 years old. It's got some dry rot behind it. So, yeah, let's paint this thing and be done for the day and clean up. It's dirty in here. Well, we got it painted. Messed up a little bit right there. Should have put one more piece of tape, but I didn't. It's painted pretty good. Has to dry now. So, yeah. And then I need a new battery too. I was charging this battery over here and it's steadily leaking out. So looks like I'm gonna go buy a new battery because it just keeps dying anyway. So it would help to probably just buy a new battery. So I haven't bought one in a while. But yeah, it's ready to go. I need to clean that up. But once I put it on there, I'll go wash the boat next week. And yeah. Get it out on the water. So nice little Sunday project, like I said. Boat's pretty good. I do need some new numbers. My numbers are kind of starting to fade. I'm gonna cut some new base Stealth stickers for it too, and maybe order a whole nother Mercury sticker since this one is doing this. And then clean it up and start looking at doing fiberglass and interior paint. Cleaning everything up, making it look like a brand new boat again. And we gotta eventually deal with the trailer too. So it needs new fenders, it needs new wood and new carpet. And it also needs new strap. And everything else just needs to be greased up a little bit, needs some new ropes. Like I said, I've had this thing in neglect for a while to where I just need to, yeah, spend some money and refurbish everything and get this thing cleaned up and ready to go to make it look brand new. Make me feel good to have a basically brand new boat. I want that. So, but if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave me a comment down below. If you want to see more stuff like this, my fabrication skills are slow. So we're going to start working on a whole lot more fabrication, not just for the boat, but the shop, the Jeep, and many other things. So yeah, if you like this kind of content, subscribe. But check out my Teespring and any of the products I used in this video down below in the description. And until next time.